other. It's pretty. Basically, you just go in a channel and you mute yourself and you just DJ.
Gotcha. Is Matt here?
I mean, he definitely had the intent to join because
I think he said he was cooking.
But he also said he was being timed out.
Yeah.
I think he meant in Minecraft.
Hello.
Oh, there he is. Oh, never mind. I mean, not never mind, but I don't have to worry about it anymore. Hello.
What's going on?
Not much. Not much. Andrew, are you joining us for Minecraft as well, or are you just gonna talk with us? You can do whatever
I'm
you
gonna
like.
talk because I don't remember my Minecraft account, and honestly, I would rather focus on talking than Minecrafting.
All right. No, totally fair.
I will join if I can connect to the server.
That generally helps.
I also just got 100 NFC tags, so I'm excited.
Ooh, nice.
What are you gonna do?
Well, probably 30 of them are going to end up being amiibo.
Neat.
That makes sense.
The remaining ones might stick on the back of my business cards for GDC.
Yeah, I was thinking about doing that too, but I was like, it's a little bit pricey, and since I'm not, super uber professional yet, it's like, not like I can dump money, but I can't dump that much money. Although I know it's only like what, $10 for. $10? Like, how much did you pay for that many NFC tags?
For 100, $30. It's actually not bad.
That definitely is not bad.
Well,
Did you get? Where
30
did you,
cents a piece.
yeah, did you get them on Amazon?
Yep, yesterday. I ordered, or 2 days ago I ordered them.
I think my friend got like a bulk order, for I think a bit cheaper, but he got it on Alibaba instead, so the shipping time was probably like 5 years.
Right, exactly. That's exactly what I was thinking. I needed them soon, so I didn't go to Alibaba or eBay. I really considered Alibaba.
But yeah, no, you're right. It would have taken too long for sure.
Carlo, remember we have a mission.
What? Oh, right. I was supposed to. Okay, I will do that. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Game Development Podcast at San Jose. Welcome to the Game Development Club at San Jose State's podcast, episode number 17.
Wait, we started?
Yes.
I can't.
Gosh darn it, Will.
What do you mean?
Cannot tell.
I never tell you when I actually hit record. This is not new. I always just start in the middle, and then when you start the podcast, we're like someone's in the middle of their sentence, and it's funny.
All right.
It's it's that old it's the old literature trick where you start in media res, as in the middle of the story. That way they're kind of like, oh wait, what's going on? You got them hooked like right from the opening.
Or they're just confused.
Yeah, no, that's it. They're confused and they want to find out what the heck, what did I miss? What's happening?
Okay.
Definitely. People love being confused.
Yeah, I can.
If I've learned
speak for
anything
that.
about life, it's just that people love being confused.
That explains the work environment so much.
Now you get it. Now you get it. Well, and bureaucracy loves confusing.
It's true. I mean,
Well, that's how they keep their jobs.
It really
Exactly.
is.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, so on the so on the docket today, we have quite the. Well, we have one topic that's been in the back burner for like 5 years. It's alternative control methods, and now that we have Andrew, and there was a recent announcement of something he will talk with us about, we're gonna go over that one. Preceding that, because I did this out of order, we're gonna do another catch up because it's been a while. What's going on with everyone? What projects are they working on? And then and then past that, we're gonna do a GDC pregame. Like, what are we expecting? Tips and trade of what to do at conventions and stuff in general. And I mean that's basically the docket. Pretty light today, but we're still recuperating. Midterms were last week, or at least for me, so a little busy. But anyway, Andrew, since we haven't heard from you in a while, at least in the podcast, what have you been up to?
It's true. It's been a while since I've been here. So I have been on a grand adventure to start new work. So I recently started a new job. Um, I'm still doing school. So these are all the boring things, right? The fun things are I've been working on some games. Still working on Audio Zoe. Been working on some level design. Been doing a lot of 3D modeling since last time I was on here.
Oh, snap.
Andrew, do you remember if you mentioned the? I don't think you mentioned the Doom level editor part on the podcast yet.
Did I not? Oh, okay. Let's talk about that. For
I forget.
So,
it might have been. I think it was one of those like post podcast things where we were just hanging out in the chat, and then that wasn't on the record.
Yeah. So I came to the realization that GZ Doom is capable of exporting Doom levels or levels you build in it as OBJ files. And while in Unity you have the ability to use ProBuilder to build levels, and ProBuilder is wonderful, I still don't think that there's anything I've found that is as fast to prototype a room as Doom Builder. Or a connected set of rooms. So where ProBuilder is good at building like one space, you have to be basically predicting what rooms you're going to attach to that space as you build it. Immediately, you have to be building that connected room, or you're going to have to cut faces and attach things. In Doom Builder, you just draw new faces attached to the one that you have, and you can build spaces really quickly. And even though ProBuilder is one of the best tools, in my opinion, for building spaces, I don't think anything beats Doom Builder for building spaces that are not vertical in terms of having room above room. So I'm kind of using it as part of my workflow now, as one of the ways that I build spaces. I've been working whenever I get time to work, at least 2 out of 3 times. I usually sit down with Chaz and we both work on something. I've been working on my AI as well, changing it up a little bit. The AI is now capable of being in a resting state, like an unaggroed state, which means that it is compatible with levels that are designed without just running around everywhere all the time looking for the player, which is actually a pretty big deal.
Does that save on processing as well?
Yeah, a little bit, because I got to do a raycast. I haven't tested the limits of it yet, but I mean, realistically, it's probably a trivial amount compared to other things that I do in Audio Zoe. Like the audio processing is not the cheapest. The like anything that has to do with scaling, like scaling the level, any of that's expensive. I had a friend ask me to teach him how to make or how to Unity. Specifically, he wanted to know how to like import assets and stuff. Mm-hmm. And so I sat down and I was showing him, and it just reminded me how easy it is to clobber a game, like the outline of a game together with just asset store assets in like 15 minutes. And that was really interesting. It reminded me why there are so many asset flips out there. And it also made me wonder why so many of the asset flips look so bad. Like, realistically, like you can get a free pixel shader on the asset store. You can get a free like mountain asset on the asset store. You can get like a free what else is there? Like you can get the post-processing stack. The only thing that wasn't free that we were messing around with was that I had during one of the Humble bundles, they had given us the Ultimate FPS controller, or like the character controller. And even though I totally wrote my own controller for my game, I've always wanted to like actually look at the one that Ultimate FPS has, and so I downloaded that and I tried it. Dude, it has sliding. Like, you can like be going down a mountain and you can like jump, and if you have momentum, you can slide like in Apex. It's kind of crazy for like how good that character controller is. Like, it almost makes me regret writing my own. Like how good it is. But oh well, such is life. not going to go backwards, and I don't think I'm going to strip the character controller I've already built out.
Yeah, but it sounds like you've definitely put in a lot of work into the fine tuning of audios already at this point.
I'm putting some work in there. Right now, I'm trying really hard to get the bigger things like what you play blocked out, i.e. like the spaces, like not just the procedural spaces, but the actual hand-built spaces are a big thing that I've been working on. I think I had mentioned in a prior podcast that I was also learning to make music, because my experience working with other people with this game has been bordering on mediocre. Like I normally have no problem with groups, but I think largely this game is a product of what I was building, and it's hard to get people who even with a design doc, even with like being able to talk to me and actually really discussing it, it's hard to get people who can like capitalize on my vision.
Mm-hmm.
So it's been really hard in that regard. So it's come to the point where it's just like I'm going to do it myself. But that's life. You get that. Sorry, I'm just going on and on. The one other thing I've been kind of messing with is, as of this week, was NFC tags. So I have an NFC reader for my desktop, and I have for those who don't know, NFC is near field communication. It is basically a type of RFID, which is radio frequency identification, which uses power transmitted from a transmitter to power a receiver, which is like also a little antenna, and that power powers the antenna to transmit back to the transmitter.
Is that how
So-
the like key cards work? Once you like tag on the reader?
Yes, exactly. The key cards or your amiibo, even your amiibo, do that. So I have a pack of these RFID chips. I have ones that are cards, and I just got some in the mail today that are stickers. They're actually stickers. I could stick them on things, which is really exciting because stickers. But like one of the things that I'm going to do is be sticking them on my business cards for GDC. I'm hopefully going to make some new business cards in the next 3 days. That might be part of my daily task for today, is to get the new business cards made, and then put the sticker on the back. But on the front, it'll have the NFC logo in the bottom, maybe right or left, and then it'll have the sticker. And then so people will know that they can NFC the card.
It was pretty funny actually when those RFID ID bands that I ended up buying, I ended up returning, and then I had to ask one of my friends who does controller modding if he had NFC tags. He gave me this one, and I'm like, this has a tag in it, and I looked really closely, and I can just barely see the indent. And I'm like, that is insane. It's crazy how small they are.
Yeah, the ones I've got are about the size of like front of your thumb. Like I know not everyone's thumbs are the same size, but like let's just say hypothetically, like it's the size of a male human's thumb, and or maybe like the size of a quarter, I guess or nickel. No, it's somewhere between a nickel and a quarter.
Like a thumbprint, you mean? Or?
Yeah, exactly. It's that's about the size of these tags. They're really quite small, and they're literally like paper thin. So you can stick them on pretty much anything. One of the things I want to do is stick them on like chess pieces. But so basically, this whole thing was I was gonna put my contact info on this, and then put the NFC chip on my business card, and I still am. But I also had this idea like, what if I have extra space on the NFC tag? Well, the ones I got, these sticker ones, are only 500 megs, or not megs, I'm sorry, only 500 bytes. It's a very small amount of data. The ones that are cards that I have are 700 bytes. So I was thinking, if I give the card ones out, what could I put in that extra, like 500 bytes? Because really, contact info is about 200 bytes of data total, like maybe less. So I'm thinking like well, what else could I put on there? And I'm like, what if I put a game on my NFC card? Like, what if I put like a really, really small game? So I was thinking about, or so I was trying like to figure out what kind of game I could use, and I'm like, what would I be able to almost guarantee people would be able to run on any computer? So I'm thinking, oh, why not? Those fantasy consoles people were making, like the Pico 8 or the TIC 80. So I looked up the TIC 80 and I downloaded TIC 80 and I like wrote a game in the TIC 80, and it almost immediately in like maybe 40 lines of code was 700. No, it was a full megabyte, and I'm like, oh darn, it's a megabyte. This is too big. So like, I'm sorry, not even a megabyte, a kilobyte. It was just a kilobyte, but kilobyte's too big because I need it to be 500 bytes. So I then started trying to just strip out everything in the game until I got it to the absolute minimum it could be. So now, or like minimum size it could be, which was around 400 bytes that I could achieve. So, or 380 bytes, and then I like ended up, instead of using sprites or any like anything pre-rendered, everything is drawn in code. Like everything is shapes that are drawn in code, because that's really the only way that you can save enough space to make this thing under 500 megs or 500 bytes, moreover. And the end result was that I did make a game. It would fit on one of these cards, but it is 690 bytes, I think.
Nice.
And like it would fit on the 700 or 712 byte card, but it wouldn't leave a lot of extra room. I was able to make a very simple thing where you could like do something in 500 bytes, but the problem is if you want to actually have it so that the player, like can collect something and then die, or lose, like win or lose, like if you want to actually have those kinds of things, you pretty much need a little more space, or you need to use some like real hacks. But I don't know Lua well enough to be able, because that's what they're using on the TIC 80. I don't know Lua well enough to actually optimize it very quickly. The other thing is, after all that, I realized I have no idea how to deploy that payload to an NFC chip, and that's where I am today. So yeah, that's what I've been up to.
You just make all your ints just into shorts, and boom, you're done.
Well, you see, that's the thing. Lua is more like whatchamacallit. It's more like maybe like Python in terms of like or basic or something, where it doesn't have like, I don't have to like write data types per se.
Mm-hmm.
It's dynamically typed, I think.
Oh, really?
I don't know if it's actually dynamically typed, but I think it is, because I wasn't writing data types, and so
Well, there
I'm
goes
actually about to look it up.
There goes mine.
Yeah, Lua is dynamically typed. So given that Lua is dynamically typed, yeah, I can't really define the data types. Also, another interesting thing, just for those of you who care about the stupid fine details of making a small Pico or a TIC 80 game, every single character you type in your script takes space, obviously, and it actually takes, like bytes. Just characters. I think assuming that a character is actually 8 bits, I would guess that it's like, I don't know how big their character size is. I should look it up, but like, but if I took a guess, it's probably like 8 bits. Or characters actually might be a whole byte. So basically, like every time you type a letter, you're using up a byte. Or every time you type a word, maybe you're using up about a byte. So basically, you have to be like super careful, like just even how much code you write. So like the game had to be like 20 lines of code max.
Interesting.
You might say that bytes.
It
Shut
does.
up, Matt.
Matt, don't make me release you can move around and use, and they have a lot of functionality beyond just the things that you did on your laptop or your desktop. They have things like location set, like data and the variety of other sensors, accelerometers, things like that. And so I see this like transition. Like phones are now at the point where the market is fairly saturated, and the HoloLens, from my experience, offers exactly what I really want out of my phone experience, which is I don't have to look at a device to get information from that device. That information can just be displayed for me where I'm looking.
Have you seen that Google has already rolled out in specific cities augmented reality walking GPS?
Oh, yeah, that was the whole thing they did with the Fox, but then they took the Fox out.
It was recent, like within like I think the last week is they started rolling it out.
Yeah, I didn't know they started rolling it out, but I remember when they demoed it, like, on stage. But, like,
It's
yeah,
really
I mean,
cool
that's
because
super
it's
cool.
if oh my god, what game was it? I think it was Tom. I think it was a Tom Clancy game where the text would kind of be sprawled out on walls and stuff, and that's basically what they did. They have pop-ups in the real world, and they have a waypoint. It's pretty sick. It's a mini
Yeah,
map in
that's
real
cool.
life, and that's kind of like exactly what I wanted for the Google Glass.
See, that's super cool, and I think that eventually that will be part of something like Glass or HoloLens. I'm not saying HoloLens itself will be the future per se, but I do think that a technology like the HoloLens is the future. And like, and what I mean is a head-mounted augmented reality display is the future of actual computing. Like, it's where we're going to do our productivity stuff because being able to manipulate objects in real space changes everything about interfacing. You might still sit down and program like a programmer, but you also might program visually in a space like that. There are like a lot of changes that we'll probably see if these start becoming mass adopted. And so the reason they were fine with bumping the price up was that their goal is to get it into the hands of a lot of businesses. They're taking a business stance on it. I think that they want to sell a lot of these so that they can use that money to R&D the next generations, because eventually there will be a commercial HoloLens. I almost guarantee it. The reason I think that this is their strategy, though, is because, like, if you look at the way that desktop computers ended up in everyone's houses, people ended up like using a desktop at work because workplaces would buy them, and then people became exposed to computers, and like even people who didn't use them eventually became exposed to them, and then they realized what they could do with them, and then they ended up buying them. And now like, go find someone's house that that doesn't have a computer in it. Like, it's hard. It's like actually a challenge now. Go find a friend who doesn't have a cell phone. It's pretty hard. Find a smartphone. It's even or a smartphone is a little easier than finding one who doesn't have a cell phone. But
Yeah, I was gonna
most
say
people
Adam.
have smartphones now. But most, like 1 in 100 maybe, have a non-smartphone nowadays, which is rare. I
Pretty
mean,
sure the number is higher than that. I mean, lower than that. Is that right?
in my sample size, I don't have the actual data, but I'm saying like 1 in 100 people I know will have a classic feature phone, as they call it. I don't know, feature phone. Some people call them dumb phones. I don't think that's as nice of a term for them.
Dumb phones.
feature-
They tried their best.
Yeah,
They
did.
really put in the hours. They had a lot of R&D in there. Okay, they're just slow.
I mean, hey, they definitely they were part of the transition to the modern smartphone, and I think that the HoloLens is going to be part of the transition to the head-mounted display being a common thing.
I was
Yes.
totally into the idea of the Google Glass though when it came out. I just wish.
Me too.
I don't
Me
know why
too.
they stopped. Was it because funding or something?
No, they stopped because they snafu'd their marketing so badly that they literally couldn't recover from it.
What was wrong with the marketing?
The marketing was only rich people and famous people are going to get this for the first 7 months.
Huh.
And then their marketing was
I
first
think
10 months.
people, from what I remember about the Google Glass, people just thought it was really dumb.
No, people who were using it thought it was really cool. The problem was that no one else had it and no one else could afford it. So basically, like, imagine you're like this, there's an in crowd over there doing something cool and you're left out. You're like, naturally, you're going to attach a stigma to those people because they're getting to take pictures of you while you can't do it. Or like it's like Snapchat, or like I think it's absolutely obnoxious that every cell phone has a camera on it, because people are taking pictures of everything you're doing nowadays. When you're like just trying to go about living your life, it's like, oh shit, I had a bad day, I accidentally backed my car out wrong. Everyone's taking a video of it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I can't say that's all of a bad thing though. Oh,
was
William
that?
has to leave.
Yeah, William
Yeah.
needs to
Okay.
head out to work.
William.
Thanks for having. Thanks
Farewell.
for your time.
Glad we could get to one part of the docket at least.
Sorry.
Alright.
I think it's both good and bad, honestly.
Well, yeah, no, there's upside, but it's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
no, what I'm trying to say is like, I'm not saying it's all bad, but it's still annoying that that is a reality. What I'm saying is that like
Mhm.
people were calling the people with Google Glass holes.
Ugh.
Like, I'm literally, that is the quote. I didn't just make that up, and I'm not like cursing on the stream, even though I probably just did that 2 seconds ago. But like, the point is that like, the people were calling them that because their perception of them was so negative, because one, they were not part of that in group, and two, what those people could do was actually quite invasive to their privacy. So notice that like everyone with cell phones, they were able to adopt them fairly quick, like smartphones, they were able to adopt them fairly quickly if they wanted to. The pricing was expensive, but if you wanted one, you could own one. You know, it was like sub $1,000 for the original iPhone,
Right.
or around $1,000 for the original iPhone. And so like, the point being that like, if you think about this from that perspective, you can really quickly see how this was a social and a marketing problem and not a product problem. The product wasn't perfect, but even just as a glorified camera on your face, it was pretty cool. Right?
No, yeah, that
And
was my impression of it exactly. And I mean, I don't think I had, I guess, as negative a perception as other people, just because I kind of accepted that, well, obviously I can't afford this new technology that literally hasn't existed and is the size of my glasses. So I don't think I was upset about it. I was excited. Like, I wanted to buy one when I got the money, and I just found out, oh, we stopped making them, and I'm like, oh, well.
so I actually felt the same way about that as you, Carlo. Like, I was excited about it, like, because I've always been really excited about head-mounted displays, but like even before they were like kind of a thing, like a popular
Excuse
thing. But the thing is that I think we also, like, even living in Silicon Valley, I didn't see them that often. I can imagine that like, if like, they also became kind of the symbol for the gentrification of places like San Francisco.
Mhm.
And so like, if you can imagine, like, you've got these people who like there's this like massive wealth disparity growing, and they're wearing these like $3,000 headsets, and like, do you kind of see where I'm coming from?
Yeah, no, I totally get it.
So I think that is a large part of the
controversy.
experience. Yeah, of why they did not succeed. Like, I think the HoloLens, if it got into a lot of people's hands, and then if they got into a bunch of people's hands and then just like at workplaces, and then they just released it, I think it could be vastly successful. Because okay, you know, Google Glass isn't dead, right?
Yeah.
Like, that's the first thing. Like, they sell it to businesses. Like, literally, you can go look up Google Glass for Business right now, and you'll find it. Like, you go buy a Google Glass right now.
So a business can wear glasses?
Dude, isn't that amazing?
That's amazing.
Man. But yeah, okay. So I'm sorry for kind of digressing on that drastically.
No, it's fine. It's fine. So I guess I want to, let's bring it back a little bit to back to games and how we think. Well, okay, the original docket was just specifically how do we think that, what are some cool alternative ways to control a game other than
Oh,
like a
yeah.
controller or a
Could I touch
thing.
on one last
And the
point on that
HoloLens.
before we move?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
sorry.
But yeah, and then the HoloLens was kind of like a good segue into that because it is another potential space for games to exist in. But go ahead.
So I think another thing is like I was having a conversation about buzzwords the other day. Like you know how there were a lot of buzzwords like the buzzwords that were really common in the industry up until fairly recently were basically like, so it started with cloud. There was the cloud buzzword. Then there was blockchain. Then there was and then like VR, and then AI or ML. I think the HoloLens is actually going to deliver on a lot of the promises of all three of those technologies by merging their like on 3 or 4 of those technologies. So I think that it's going to be cloud computing, which is basically just the re-evolution of time sharing. You're going to use cloud computing to offload a lot of the computing to AI for processing of the environments that you're going to with a HoloLens. And HoloLens is AR VR. So basically 3 of those promises are going to be delivered on if the HoloLens iterates about 2 or 3 more times, is my thought there. That was my culminating point with that. But like, but yeah, you were saying you wanted to switch towards.
Well, no,
alternate input.
that was the original thing.
Yeah, but like actually, I agree. Like alternate input devices.
And I kind of brought up the Makey as one that
That was actually what I wanted to talk about too.
it had picked up steam a while ago. I think when it kind of became not a meme, but it became a more viral sensation when people were like, "Whoa, that guy used bananas," and "Whoa, that guy's playing Mario except he made the controller out of clay." And I was like, "There's some more stuff that people have done more stuff already." But I'm like, what else could we do that like maybe not necessarily is as janky as that and could be more commercial? I mean, obviously we had like drums and the Guitar Hero controller.
Well, it's not the Makey, but another input device that I think is really worth pointing out is.
Oh, it's also the Microsoft. Yeah. That was
recently
that was the
released. Microsoft recently released their. Sorry, I don't remember what it's called. I'm just going to call it the Microsoft Accessible Controller.
I think that's
what the adaptive controller.
Adaptive.
It's a Microsoft adaptive, the Xbox adaptive controller. It's also interesting that like the next generation of gaming is probably going to be streamed. That's a whole nother weird thing, or is like they're trying to push for it to be game streaming. We'll see how that goes out. There are gonna be some interesting talks about that at GDC this year.
Yeah, Ninja got paid $1 million to play a game of Apex. So.
Wow, I did not hear about
Who
that.
did?
You didn't? Ninja
who
got
did?
paid on launch day. EA paid Ninja $1 million to play Apex Legends.
Jesus.
Well, yeah, they changed their marketing strategy. Instead of spending money on marketing, they went viral. Well, not viral, but they went influencer marketing.
I think it's viable. It has been viable for a while too, because it works. It's
right. No, it actually works a lot better than hyping things into oblivion. Just get someone that people watch to play it.
Yeah, because I think gamers have become, well, depending on the market that you're going for, gamers have become a lot smarter and more aware of, well, this is just hype. Most of this is probably just CG rendering, but when someone's actually playing it, it gives you not only a sense of the gameplay, but more of a sense of like, oh, this does look fun, and it's not just.
So, I agree.
Bullshit.
Yeah, it makes sense to pay someone to play the game that people watch anyways, so people get a first look through someone else.
So, like, the other thing though is that I do think that gamers have also wised up to the fact that the industry has changed a lot. Like, it used to be a game got hyped and it came out and maybe it was just a bad game. But nowadays, the game gets hyped, it comes out, it's a bad game, and they bothered to make a microtransaction store that's actually good in it. Like the store is well built, but the game suffered.
Hey man.
Like,
woo.
So like I think that's what's caused gamers to become so averse to the hype train or the hype machine, because like you can't hype something that is not for your consumer. That's really fundamentally what it is. The consumers are they're trying to sell the consumers something that's designed for the business. the business wants to sell you a store, basically. I don't know. That's kind of my take on it. Like if and people caught on, and that's why there's a lot of outrage. Now, mind you, there's a lot of outrage culture, and that's super kind of frustrating in its own right. But yeah, that's a whole different thing. There's definitely like people on both sides of this, like, and like game devs and studios have to make money. But the problem is that a lot of times it's not the game devs and studios who even benefit from putting those microtransactions in the games. They just end up paying the bills for the bigger company above them. So, or I should say, lining the pockets of some people. Like, but like on alternate control devices, like this Microsoft Xbox adaptive controller is really cool. They've really managed to make something that is more accessible to a lot of users. And like I could see this being a fun thing to have just to build interesting games with. Like I don't know, have you all spent any time looking at it?
I've seen some of the videos of it, and I think it's really cool. I'm not. It's kind of weird to think of how a game would be kind of made around it, especially since it's meant to emulate a regular controller. I will say though, some of the folks that this is a good transition kind of to alt control GDC. I don't know if that's happening. I'm assuming it's happening again this year.
It is.
Yeah.
It
Okay,
is.
that's great. That's like the first thing I'm going to. But there was some really cool stuff the year I went last time, and like one of them was like a laser harp that basically like whenever your hand went through that cut off the laser receiver on the other end, it strum a note, and then like yo, and they had like it was
sick.
it was awesome. It also had like a smoke machine in it, and I'm just like, dude, I want a controller that blows smoke and doesn't explode in flames.
The smoke machine was there so you could see the laser easily.
Okay, see that it's not only that's like a double win. It's not only cool AF, it also serves a purpose.
Yeah, it wasn't just to look pretty. It was actually like that's how you make the lasers more visible. It's diffraction. So like, I agree. That was super cool. There was also like there was a box game like Space Box or something, and you would like sit in a box and put on a tinfoil hat and you'd play in the box.
Yes, I remember that one. There was one with like sand, like a box of sand.
Oh, that's so cool. Yeah, they used to connect and you like move the sand around and you'd actually move the mountains in a game. It was like a sandbox.
Yeah, it was really awesome. I'm excited to go there again this year and see what they come up with. And I was kind of thinking of like if we could do something like that, what would we do?
That's honestly a great question. I've been thinking a lot about it because I actually have access to a Makey, and I've been thinking about what I want to do with it. And I'll be honest with you, I'm not entirely sure what I would build. Like,
I kind of feel like I would make something similar to Keep Talking and Nobody Explodes, but it's an actual bomb. Okay, well, maybe minus the explosion part. Like, it's just like an LED or something. But you know what I mean, right? Like, it's kind of like Bop It, except
yeah,
bomb
like
it.
it vibrates or something.
Bop it,
yeah, it vibrates.
tap it,
Bomb it,
pump it, hit it, or whatever.
Defuse it.
bomb it. No,
Bomb it. Oh god.
B-17 bomber.
no. Oh, that just gave me a really cool idea that is not relevant to this. Well, it's kind of relevant to this. It's a VR discussion, but like,
Dude, Battleship in VR.
Hold on.
No, Bomberman in VR
Oh, that would be cool too.
That would also be sick. Well, hold on.
with the Oculus Quest would be so cool because it. Yeah, sorry, never mind.
Well, no, go, keep going. You finish your point.
Or actually, with the HoloLens, it'd be great because you could use real 3D spaces and like imagine if you were playing Bomberman in your house, like dropping barrels at bombs and
dropping
kicking
barrels.
them. Be fun. Sorry.
No,
Excited.
it's
Yeah,
fine.
that'd be cool.
The thing that I wanted to mention was that Nintendo. Sorry, I was keeping. Nintendo recently announced that they're releasing, after many rumors of them going to do it anyway, they're releasing Nintendo Labo VR kits. I don't know if you saw that,
I
Andrew.
remember you showed us that.
Did you see
That's
that?
interesting because Nintendo. It's actually so weird that Nintendo didn't VR, to be honest with you.
Yes.
Their games sell well enough without it.
Oh my god, Lily.
Sorry.
No! Wait, the creepers. No! But yeah,
No,
I saw that and someone posted, I think it was like a Reddit or something, where they were like, what if Pokemon Snap VR? Because if you look at the I think I posted it a while ago and oh my god. If you look at it a while ago, the picture that they had for the Labo VR kit wasn't just like the it's just like a cardboard box so you put the Switch in. It also had like an elephant thing. It had a camera. They were like tools that you looked in, but you used the Switch as the viewfinder essentially. And like a lot of people really started thinking, including myself, like, dude, if they have Pokemon Snap or like Mario Kart in VR, I don't care if it's just cardboard. I'm buying it immediately at launch.
Is Nintendo kind of the old Apple of like the old school?
Wait a
Apple
second.
of
That's why
gaming?
my computer's been lagging. Andrew, can you turn off your screen share?
Oh,
Oh,
sure.
you're screen sharing?
Yeah.
I was wondering like why my computer was lagging so bad.
Oh. I mean, I don't think I have it on the screen. I don't imagine it's doing that much if it's not on screen.
Yeah, well, you have a different laptop than me.
That's fair. Oh, that's
You
right.
know what?
Andrew does like the really cool like
I booted up Saints Row on my computer, right? And Carlo was sitting next to me, and then he looked at
Oh yeah.
how my game was running, and then he patted me on the shoulder, and he was like,
that's exactly what happened. Yes.
because apparently it ran so bad, he took pity on me.
I mean, yeah.
Andrew?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait, was that directed at me? Maybe I missed that.
Oh yeah.
I totally zoned out in a direction.
Oh, it's fine.
Yeah, sometimes that happens. I get caught in a thought, and then someone's like, "Hey, are you still there?" And I'm like,
Yeah.
Kind
I'm kind of here. Yeah, kind of. In a
kind of
way.
here, yeah. I mean, I'm definitely thinking. I'm definitely somewhere, and I'm definitely thinking about something. I'm just not necessarily in this conversation right now.
Yeah, but like
Well,
I was telling you that like Carlos saw how Saints Row 3 ran on my computer, and then he told me he was sorry.
Ouch.
I mean, I was.
I mean, I don't blame you. I don't blame you, Carlo. I don't blame you for being sorry.
What were we talking
Because
about?
I remember you're the one that told me that that the way my computer ran Overwatch was impressively bad.
It is true. It was impressively bad.
But
Oh,
I
yeah,
don't
that's
even
right.
know.
Oh, sorry.
It's like I don't even know the experience of running Overwatch, like even on better graphics, because it's
I mean,
the
honestly,
only thing I've ever dealt with.
have you ever considered getting a used desktop for like $200 on Craigslist?
I don't like desktops.
Have you ever considered getting a used laptop on Craigslist for like $400?
No, they tend to not be that great. So
I mean, you have to know what you're buying for sure, but I feel like you could definitely get an improvement. For
What are
a
you
cheap
throwing?
improvement.
It's a trident.
Yeah, but there's tridents in this game?
Yeah. Why are there so many mobs over here, man? What is this?
what?
Like, whoa. I
There's
don't
like
even
3
know.
creepers and 4 spiders. Anyway, but yeah, I'm really excited for the idea that we could have Pokemon Snap in VR. Or just
Oh,
Mario
that's why.
Kart.
It's because he's working over here with no lights on.
I mean, that is also a problem. I mean,
Oh, I just followed Carlo. I was trying to sleep early, but
are we going to sleep?
if you want.
Okay. But anyway, so back to alt control GDC and back to GDC, which is
And then
happening.
I actually want to point one last thing about the HoloLens out. I forgot about it for a second, but
Yeah,
it
go
was
ahead.
really relevant.
Go ahead.
So one of the big things with the HoloLens was that one of the reasons why Microsoft paid so darn much money for Minecraft was that they bought it for the HoloLens. Like
I remember
they
that.
actually were already working on the HoloLens, and I think that that's a really interesting point to make. Is that like not Microsoft also very much views this as the future of potentially computing and even a future of gaming.
I remember for the I think it was I don't think it was the HoloLens 2 demo, but for a HoloLens demo, they had two people playing in a Minecraft server, and then the HoloLens brought up like their game on like a table, and then they were watching them like go in the.
Yep, that was definitely
Was that
a little
HoloLens
bit.
1 or 2?
It was HoloLens 1. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
But like they bought it partially for that reason. Like although we still haven't seen that yet, I think we will in the future, and it's going to be amazing.
Dude, I'm so it's so cool. It's such a I loved growing up, like not just Sim City, but those like God games where you just kind of stood over things and did things.
Help me.
What do you mean help you? What do you mean help? Wait, what's
I'm
wrong?
suffocating. Oh,
Oh.
my god.
Oh, that was the sound.
Oh. What happened to you? What on earth happened here? Okay, why is your bed in the air?
Oh no, now I'm back at.
Oh, you're back at James's? Okay. Sorry, Andrew, panic moment. Let me dump my stuff in the chest. I'll grab her stuff and put it. Anyway. Yeah, HoloLens. It's exciting.
Alternate input devices are exciting. I think that like the other thing with the makey is like you could make a game where like it's all about opening doors, and you could like attach the makey to a door. So then when you grab the door, it knows you've opened the door.
But I mean, more to your point, if it's an AR, you could just make up a door there. And
And so like I think that like so here's the thing. I feel like given the amount of Internet of Things that we're gonna have around, plus the HoloLens, there's a very valid point to say that like everything is going to be connected at some.
I completely agree. So let's go. Let's move over to what's coming up. GDC.
It is.
Andrew, I think this is why we need you on, because you're also the resident expert of GDC. I think you've been to the most. You put in the most time for it out of all of us.
That's probably true. I probably have not been to the most of anyone that I know, but I definitely have actually paid for a 3-day pass. So I guess that's
yeah, it counts for something.
Most people don't do that. And I've done that now. This will be my second year doing that. I've only actually been, I think, 3 times. I wanted to go. I almost went 5 times. But 2 of the times, life chaos stopped me from going, which was very disappointing. So, yeah, GDC is coming up. Pretty exciting. Getting business cards ready.
Well, I wanted to ask you, like, what do you think is what are your like must see attractions of GDC? And this goes for all of us, obviously.
That's actually tough, because I don't know that every year it's going to be the same. But I always like to go talk to indie devs. They have an indie dev, 2 indie dev areas. One where it's more about playing the games. It's usually upstairs near where they do all the panels or the talks.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't remember what they call that for some reason right now. So
last year it was the year I went, it was like a jungle thing or something.
Yeah, but they call it like the indie mega booth.
That's what it is. Oh wow, it was loud. Sorry.
Yeah, that was interesting. Okay. So the indie mega booth is a thing. I like to go up there and play the indies games and talk to them and have a good time. But I usually don't spend much time there because there's just so many other places to go and people to talk to. So GDC is about going to get what you want out of it, kind of. I know it sounds obvious, and maybe like the thing is that you can only really get one fraction of the experience every time you go. Whether it's the parties or the networking, or you want to talk to people about the game and the project you're working on, what games and projects they're working on, or like ideally you'll be meeting people for all kinds of things. If you're looking for work, you might be talking to people to try and find a job. And I think that largely I think largely that that it like whatever thing you're trying to do, you pretty much have to go all in on that thing, because you only have really 3 days, and everyone's busy trying to do their own thing at GDC, and so like it's really hard to make sure that you do the thing you want to do if you're trying to do all things. I always make a point that like if I find or make a point to try and find all the good swag early too.
Mhm.
Like, yes, I know, but like, I mean, I pay for GDC out of pocket, and it's really nice to get some like swag that pays it back. Like I'm sitting here with a controller on my desk, an Xbox One X or Xbox One controller, and they gave it to us for free at GDC last year if you knew where to go find it. So like, I paid what I think last year I actually paid $250 for my ticket because I bought it a little late, but they still like through swag I basically made all my money back. This year I'm supposed to sign up for some parties if I want to go to them. I haven't done that yet.
Mhm.
Well, it's getting a little later on that. But I definitely am thinking about going to a couple parties because I want to like meet people. I'm already going to be in the city, so I may as well. Could you repeat the question?
Oh well, no, I just want to know like what your take was on like must sees at GDC, and I mean,
Oh, must sees. Yeah,
Like,
okay,
for
must
me-
sees. Yeah, go ahead.
like for me, I already mentioned it. All control GDC.
Yeah, oh yeah, that is a must. I loved all GDC. Absolutely. You definitely should go and stop by the Epic Games booth. And if Unity doesn't have their booth up, you should go to the or it doesn't have a big booth on the floor. They might be doing their booth um, in their actual office, which is down the street, effectively, and you could go there instead.
Mhm.
Or you can go there if you want to do Unity related stuff. I don't know what they're doing this year. I have to look into it. Tonight is actually the night that I'm doing my GDC prep.
Gotcha.
So like I haven't really prepped yet. The problem is that you never really know what announcements are set in stone until like the weekend before anyway, I find. So like it doesn't really or like where people are gonna be or what's going on.
Mhm.
So yeah, that's a thing. I bet there's a subreddit for GDC, and I haven't really, but I think I will actually look at that. If it does exist, then there's a pretty fair chance that I would imagine that some people on the GDC subreddit will talk about free stuff you can get.
Almost certainly. Oh my God, Lily Run.
Like, why am I talking about free stuff? Because free stuff is pretty
No,
good. Free
I
stuff on
don't.
GDC.
Free stuff is always good. There's
So,
not
like,
a bad reason to talk about
For
free
me,
stuff.
I have a lot of reasons to go to GDC now. I mean, I'm building a game. I love talking to people.
Like, Andrew, let me just justify you for a second. As soon as we get there, I'm gonna tell you, since you've been there for a few days, where are we getting this free stuff at?
Right,
Like,
right,
that's the
exactly.
first thing.
Yeah, I may even start just I may just post what free stuff is like that I found in the GDC channel on the Game Dev Club Discord, just so that
Give
you
us
guys can,
like I will find a PNG of the map and you just like mark it down.
Oh, I actually my phone. I could do that on my phone. Like I think my phone has because I have a stylus. I could just put X's and then like.
Oh, dude, 100, please put some waypoints on there. Like, oh, you guys can
Yeah.
get like a free bag over here. They're giving out internships over here.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a fun GDC this year.
We have I don't know if Adam updated you on the number. I guess he hasn't said it publicly yet, but we have well, in the initial like interest survey, we had 21 people interested. Then on the sign up survey, we had 13, and now we have like 16 or 17 people going because reasons.
Wow, that's actually the midpoint. That's the midpoint.
Yeah,
That's solid.
it's basically the exact midpoint. It actually could have been higher, but I've encouraged Adam that if people are like, because a couple of people have now just shown up out of nowhere and been like, hey, I heard you're paying for GDC tickets.
Yeah,
What's
typical.
this game dev club? And I'm like, no, because when
No.
the problem is when we requested the funding, we told them we want to fund 13 people, and now we have 17, so that money is split between people. So it's kind of like you weren't like, we understand that there was some confusion earlier on, but if you're like now showing up out of nowhere trying to hop in, it's kind of like, no. It's too much. Like it's no prior warning.
Like
You're
one,
kind of
one of
just
the big
taking
things
advantage
is
of us.
yeah, and one of the big things is that the club is largely we have to keep our membership and like community going, and if people are only fair weather members, so to speak, they're only there when it's good, um, then like our investment in you isn't an investment in us, so to speak.
Yes.
So like if you're a member, even if you don't come to all the meetings, even if you can't come to most, but like people know you exist and or maybe you're active on the Discord. Like I mean, if someone was always active on the Discord but never able to make the meetings, they're still a member of the club as far as I'm concerned.
Mhm.
Like, but yeah,
And there are people who aren't active in either, and then show up around GDC and it's like, hey, I heard you guys going to GDC. Like
I don't
someone we know.
like. I'm really cool if people go to GDC with us who like
Yeah, Chaz
my
actually just messaged me and asked, "Hey, can I like go with you guys when you go on Caltrain because safety?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah, 100%, please come."
yeah no and Chaz and I are actually going to be running around GDC together anyway.
I did want to know, did you decide on Caltrain yet, or?
I haven't decided if I'm going to drive down to San Jose, but that's going to be the thing I'm going to finalize my plans on tonight.
Okay.
Darn it.
Do you have any recommendations for traveling to GDC, by the way? I think we're taking Caltrain. That's where we're taking the bullet bus.
Well, if you're okay, sorry, is that like okay? I'm my plans are are kind of weird and different, but like what you should be doing if you are down in the San Jose area is if you are even in remotely close distance to the Caltrain, which would be the Diridon station, I would 100% take a Uber to the Diridon and then pay the money to Diridon to SF. And then typically I've walked to
Nothing, go ahead.
I have traditionally walked to Moscone, which is actually about 1 mile. It's not bad from the train station. It can sound a little long, but it's a fairly reasonable walk. It's actually pretty fun, but it does go under a bridge where you are likely to get stabbed and killed. No, I'm just kidding. No, that's not going to happen.
I mean, it is downtown.
I mean, there's no guarantee. Well, let's try this. There's no guarantee it won't happen.
Exactly.
So more importantly, if I can't guarantee that Diridon, or like I can't guarantee that is. So let's say if you were going alone, or even with a group, and you can mitigate the cost of an Uber, let's say, and all pay for it, you should. You should Uber to Moscone, because I don't see why not. At the it's only a mile, though. Actually, to be fair, a mile in SF in a car is like 20 minutes. I don't know. That's what I'm gonna try this year. If I
Okay, Carlo.
If you are driving up, parking can be pretty miserable when the conventions get busy.
Where's my stuff?
You can spend
I put it
40
in a dump.
minutes
I
just
put it in a dump
parking.
chest.
You can spend like 40 minutes just parking.
Yeah.
My recommendation is that this year is supposedly going to be the biggest GDC yet. Like they're going to have more people come this year than they ever have before.
What?
Yeah, and so there's a very realistic possibility that the parking, which used to be achievable, may not be achievable this year. So if you can take the train from San Jose, I actually would. Even if you spend a little extra money in Uber, you'll spend less in gas and time. And realistically, you're going there to have a good time. You're already spending money on your ticket to get in the door. Or, well, if you're a student, maybe you're not spending money to get a ticket to get through the door. Maybe SJSU is, but still, value your time like it's money.
Oh yeah, Andrew, I have something to tell you.
What's up?
So remember the other day when we were at IKEA, and
IKEA?
IKEA. The great Swedish version of IKEA.
Never mind.
No, please go on.
Jeez, I can't even fucking open my mouth.
You said it
Jesus.
wrong. You said it wrong. Oh. Okay.
Sorry, I just thought IKEA sounded awesome.
So did I. I care. Okay, get on. Please continue.
I don't really feel like it anymore.
No, Lily,
No, Lily.
we love you though.
I just feel insulted now. Okay, just
Well,
kidding.
I await. Yeah, I await to hear what you were talking about.
Yeah, because I remember we were talking about oh Jesus.
Okay.
Anyways,
Being sick is not fun.
Yeah, not fun.
we were talking about Star Wars, remember?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and like you were talking like the thing is like I couldn't understand at the time like why everyone was so upset about it, but then you actually like laid it out for me.
Mm-hmm.
So I watched some more videos and I was like, I think I may have been like looking at it from how should I say it, a non-objective standpoint, because like the writing in the what is it, Last Jedi or what was the first one called again?
Return of the Jedi?
Force Awakens.
Oh yeah, The Force Awakens. Yeah.
The thing is, like, I do think now that like it's been laid out for me, because you know how people like will like make videos about like their critique of like their critiques of movies, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like I learned that like the writing really was like a huge tonal shift from the original films, and what is this? But yeah, like I learned that like it was actually a huge tonal shift from what the original films were.
Yeah, I feel like even though that is totally to be expected when you have different writers on the film, like I feel like the tonal shift was a little dramatic, like or a little drastic, and definitely just didn't feel in line with the prior source material.
But the thing is, like now that I've gone out and like learned more, and I think I agree with you that like there's a huge tonal shift, and it was not necessarily for the best for everyone. But the thing is, but yeah, it feels like more like I'm not saying that the original movies or the tone that the original movies had was like absolutely 100% perfect. But
No, not
like
at all.
instead of like I feel like the continuation is not
Present
how do I
at
say-
all.
It doesn't feel in universe, I guess, is the best way to put it for me. Like
Yes,
that's
I remember you explained that the Force itself was written to be totally different.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
my buddy at work told me. It's like completely different how it started.
Yeah, the Force is like it was the thing that was like the glue that bound everything together, and it kind of was like the ebb and flow of like water. It wasn't like OP thing that resurrects people when they're dying out of a spaceship.
Yeah, oh my gosh, that was
That
my
scene.
least favorite.
Dear Lord.
That didn't happen. That doesn't
That
exist.
shark jumping moment was beautiful.
I'm honestly, I'm so sad that, well, that's not exactly the right word, but I thought that was a nice send off for Carrie Fisher. You know, she goes out with her ship. You know,
I actually was thinking the same thing. Like
I know. Why did they could have just edited that? Like I thought they changed
they
it.
were
Like,
trying
what?
to subvert. I think they were trying to subvert expectations. Honestly, like by keeping her alive, but like that, and that's one of my biggest problems with those movies is that they get a little bit too close to reality. Like a lot of the humor, a lot of like it's more like how do I put it? It doesn't feel like this is a galaxy far, far away with its own politics and its own universe. It starts feeling more and more like our universe and our politics are bleeding into it.
Mhm.
Like, and there was a certain amount of that even in the original Star Wars movies that were a product of its time. But now looking back, it's not like that universe has changed so much. Like in the time between, you know, the first movies and now that you could justify that much of a shift in tone and general like aesthetic and
Really
character development.
Really quick, Matt, are you making the Eye of Sauron over here? What is this?
No.
What is this?
So the inner circle is a frame for the head of the statue.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'll take a screenshot for Andrew. Keep going.
Actually, can I just? Oh my gosh, my voice is dying. Turn on camera. Oh, not that camera.
But
Why
the thing
can't-
is, like, I was gonna say, like, I didn't.
Here we
after,
go.
Like, after like doing my own research and everything, I didn't think it was all that bad. The tonal shift, like, I didn't think the movie was completely garbage, like some fans will claim.
What is
But
that? Oh,
but the thing
that's
is-
Minecraft.
oh, the thing is, like, I don't think the movies are like totally garbage, like some fans will claim. But the thing is, like, I do agree that there was a huge shift from what the original movies were written as.
Yeah, it feels
And
substantial.
that's the point I'm trying to get at. Like,
Okay,
I don't
wait,
think
Matt,
the
could
movies
you
are garbage.
turn that off?
I thought
Could
they were.
you-
I thought
Can you
they.
mute your sound, your game sound, because it's distracting.
Oh, sorry.
I've
let me
seen the Eye of
just,
Sauron now. Yeah.
Oh,
you
you've
can
seen it?
close
Okay.
Yeah, I've seen it now.
Yeah,
I just-
I'm sorry.
I want to make sure that that Billy's computer doesn't explode.
That's fair.
No, that's okay. That's good. Stationary structures are fine. But like, yeah, Andrew, the point I was trying to get at is that I didn't think. The thing is, like, I don't think the movies. I think the movies are pretty okay for what they are. But things I do agree with the original point that it was a huge tonal shift from what the original movies were.
Yeah, I agree with you. Largely
Hey.
agree.
Matt, I'm gonna do this to your wood.
No! Why?
What happened?
I can't believe you.
Did Lily just light the whole thing on fire?
No, like he was
No.
making wood pillars, and then I stripped the bark off the wood.
How dare you?
Wait, what?
Why
You
would
don't
you?
know?
do
You don't
that?
know about strip bark?
No.
I accidentally discovered that about 10 minutes ago myself. So
What? No, show me this. What?
if you right click a wood block, it just tears all the bark off.
Show me a move!
What? Really?
Can I put the bark back on?
Over here.
What
other
have
side
you
of the fountain.
done?
Where is over here?
Other side of the fountain where you're on. See?
Oh,
There
okay.
you are.
How do I get?
See this thing?
What?
Yeah, I don't know what the purpose of it is yet.
Right
You
click
don't-
with your axe.
I don't have.
You don't
an
even-
axe.
You don't even get like a
Right.
bark item for it.
That's so cool. Anyway,
GDC.
I mean,
So
So alternative methods of input. I think DDR pads would be awesome.
yeah, DDR pads for your hand.
Dude,
I want to make a game that uses a DDR pad, but totally like not for dancing.
dude,
Hey, do you want to play a soccer game where you actually had?
You actually headbutt.
Wait, didn't they already do this with like the Connect and stuff?
yeah, but it was
Is that-
bad.
But it was what?
But it was bad.
Oh.
Lily, have the coordinates for the village if you want to head out to that, and then when we head out to that, that can end the podcast. Or unless we want to keep going. I mean, we had a good tangent there. I like the Star Wars tangent.
We were also talking about the GDC this year.
Oh yeah, when is?
Oh, but wait, one more thing about the Star Wars thing.
Okay.
I watched a video where I watched a video. You know the channel on YouTube called Pop Culture Detective?
I actually never heard of it. No.
Okay. Yes, he the guy's like a movie critic and like critiques a lot of movies. Like a lot of them, and like he makes like and like he points out like different tropes that like Hollywood does and etc. And what else? I watched Star Wars. I watched different Star Wars videos from different people. So there's like lots of different viewpoints that I was watching. But like one of his one of his video about the crap, which is it again? About the fuck. It's about the I keep losing my
About
train
the
of thought.
fuck.
About the
Something
about
about
the
Star Wars?
Star Wars and the tonal shift of its male heroes specifically, and like I think it was written from a more like, how should I say this, feminist standpoint. I'm not saying that's a
fair.
bad thing, but
No,
yeah.
that's fair. That's a fair. I think that's a fair. Whether you want to call it a criticism or not, it's actually just an observation. I would say that's a fair observation. Like having watched the movie,
Mhm.
like
Like I didn't think it was a bad thing at all. Carlo, I have all the rotten flesh.
Wait, they wanted
Is
to
there
trade
no-
the meat as well. I'm gonna grab 2 blocks of emerald.
Okay.
And Borks.
Okay, so yeah, Andrew. So like I didn't even notice or even put all the threads together until I watched this video. And I was like, oh, that makes sense from a writing standpoint and the day and age they wrote it,
Where did
Yeah.
my ass go?
etc.
Oh, there's my
I feel
ass.
it.
But
The
yeah.
thing is, for so long I was annoyed that the fans were like, oh, SJWs ruined our franchise. I'm like I didn't even know what they were talking about. So I just kind of shrugged it off. Like, I don't even know what they're talking about. This just looks like a normal movie to me. But the thing is, when I was pointing out, I realized exactly why they're so upset. Carlo, where did you go?
Yeah, I think it's really. I think that what you're highlighting is exactly what I try to add anything, and that is try and look It's always important to look at things from everyone's point of view if you can. I mean, you're never going to succeed 100% because you have your own personal bias, and there are things that you obviously think, but it's there probably is some truth in a bunch of people being a little bit upset about something. There also could be no truth in it, which there are cases of, but you can still understand how they get there. And you can't help people understand something is wrong if you don't understand how they got to their conclusion either.
Yeah. Ultimately, I came to the same conclusion that they're just ultimately I came to the same conclusion I did before, but now I have a deeper understanding of why.
If you were convinced that the HoloLens was never going to be the future, I wouldn't be upset about it. or something like the HoloLens, because I don't even think it necessarily will be the HoloLens. But the point is that if you understand my point of view and you can articulate a point of view that is different, right? To try and convince me otherwise. But I agree with you. I totally agree with you.
Mm-hmm.
That there is definitely a tonal shift there with that movie, and that there probably is a little truth in the frustrations of.
Yeah. The thing is, even though now I know the reasoning behind their upsetness, it still doesn't change my opinion about the movie.
That's totally okay. That's.
Wait, I
totally
forget.
reasonable.
Did you like it or not like it?
I liked it, but I didn't think it was the most phenomenal thing I ever saw. But I didn't see what was wrong with it. Why so many fans were so upset about it. They're oh SJWs ruined our movie. Oh, Rose was a bitch. Blah blah. I was like, what? Why are you guys
Rose
so
was
mad?
a terrible character.
Yeah, the Asian character, remember Rose?
Oh, I was thinking the chick who led the captain, or led the captain. What am I even saying? She was on the ship and she was a captain, and she was the worst character I've ever seen.
The one that took over for Leia.
Yeah,
the one with pink hair.
The admiral chick with pink hair.
She's so stupid. That was my one problem. Why are you not telling people this? It seems real important.
And then at the end of it, they try to make her sacrifice all noble and stuff, and I'm like, I guess.
That was also universe breaking.
I know, right? What the heck, hyperdrive?
No.
Or the hyperlight, whatever.
It wasn't characters aside. Actually, one of my biggest complaints about that whole movie is that the technological thing they do in that scene, which spoilers to anyone who's not seen the movie.
No, go ahead. Just go ahead.
If
you haven't seen it by now,
you should see it. But
yeah, you don't care enough if you haven't seen it at this point. You've lost the right to complain about spoilers.
Spoilers. Yeah, you're just a couple years out now, I think. There's a point at which they take a Star Destroyer and they take the ship they're in and they shoot it through a Star Destroyer at light speed. And they destroy their ship, of course, and they destroy the Star Destroyer. If you could just accelerate anything to light speed and use it as a weapon, why the heck would you ever build, I don't know, a Death Star?
Yes, just shoot
the...
garbage at light speed. It would probably be better.
Yeah, I mean,
maybe it was because of the risk involved.
But I mean, you just stick a stick, or you just put something on the throttle and just let it go and do its thing.
Yeah, I know, that's why I'm just you could do that with all the spaceships in the army. Just put them on autopilot.
Yeah,
Even if they don't have
I don't think the admiral character was executed perfectly, but after watching the video, I realized why she was put there.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I'll have to take a look at their analysis.
Yeah,
Do you want me to
I've been
link it to you?
interested as well. Yeah, put it in the
Um,
Discord chat.
yeah,
Like if we
go
get to
for
it.
it.
You know?
Yeah. Just okay. So for the record, unless you guys give me reason, I don't think any of you are like any of those like internet man babies.
Internet what? Did you just
Like
call me a
man children?
manatee? Oh.
No, man children who like complain about SJWs taking over everything.
Oh, yeah.
I heard manatee and I'm like, what?
Sorry.
Yeah, I heard Manatee also.
I mean, the only thing I would say is that there has been a substantial cultural shift in the last couple of years, and that would be pretty much undeniable in
Yeah,
in cultural tone of both movies and other media.
Yeah. The thing is I just for the record, I don't think you guys are like that. So just
I mean,
reassurance. Okay.
Yeah.
I hate humanity.
But do you hate manatees?
Because like
Absolutely
if
not.
I-
They're the best,
Sorry.
honestly.
because like if I thought you guys were that way, then I probably would be hanging out with you guys anyways.
Right. I figured that you didn't think too poorly of us. I was hoping that was the case. Yeah, I mean,
Because
She-
it's like
people like
She hangs out with us out of sympathy.
oh
Yeah, she feels
that's
bad.
how that works out, yeah.
No,
Except
but yeah,
Kevin.
but
Okay.
Andrew, do you remember when we went with Carter to In and Out?
Wait, I was
Yeah.
hello. I was there too. Hello.
Wait. Is this stuff we should have on the podcast?
Is the podcast still going?
Yes.
Oh, okay,
No.
never mind.
What do you mean? Never mind? What was the problem?
No, because the thing is, like, I don't want to like slander people publicly.
Okay,
Wait,
fair
I-
enough.
Even
I
though,
didn't
even
know
though it's
that's
not
where-
slander, because it
I
really
wasn't sure.
happened. but-
Yeah, I wasn't sure if that's where that was going, but
Okay, I'll
I try
save it
not
for
to talk about. I guess what I'm trying to say is I try not to talk about my interactions with other people on the podcast.
Yeah,
Right.
no,
unless I
that's
know
keep
that
it
would, like,
keep it
to be
general.
talked about.
Keep it general.
Yeah. Just
Unless we're
because I
trashing
don't-
on the movie.
I don't
in
think
which
other
case-
people can really relate. I guess anyone listening to the podcast, it's tough though. We'll definitely, I'll definitely, we can talk about it after.
Oh yeah, for
um,
sure.
yeah.
I mean, was there anything else you wanted to mention on the podcast? Actually.
GDC is going to be great, and if you want to find us,
dude,
join
follow-
the SJSU Game Dev Club.
Absolutely. Go type in sjsugamedev.com. This podcast will actually go up one day before the Friday we're at GDC. So join the Discord, sjsugamedev.com. It's one of the top links on the Discord channel, or on the website rather. You can also follow at SJSU Gamedev on Twitter because we actually use it now. Make sure to follow us for 255 characters of complete nonsense and updates. Actually, wait.
Complete
Oh, yeah.
nonsense
Oh yeah,
updates.
I was gonna say wait no, isn't it 128? I forgot they expanded it to 256.
It's
um,
it's actually over 9,000 characters.
Oh, you're right. Thank you. And yeah, that's I guess that's it. Unless anyone wants to talk about another
if you
movie
want to meet
real
up
fast.
with me, I'm actually there for 3 days of GDC.
Ooh yeah, follow at Kuderet. Actually, wait, I don't know if you have it.
You can't really follow me, but if you want to find me, you can find me on the SJSU Game Dev Club Discord, which come join us and talk with us.
Absolutely.
Community and things with us. You mentioned highlights of GDC. I think one of the big highlights is the people, and this is I'm gonna share a couple quick anecdotes before we end the podcast. But like, I met some really interesting people at GDC last year. At any convention, this is the thing that I think everyone should be trying to take away from it is there are people there who are like-minded with you, and they're all in the same place. At least like-minded in the sense that they at least love one thing in common with you, which is games. Like, take the time to have a conversation with those people, and don't be too scared of them. Most people you can literally walk up to and just say hi. I'm so-and-so, what do you do? Or like, what brings you to GDC? Or what games do you like? Or, what do you work on? Or, like any of these kinds of questions. And most people will oblige you with a not rude answer. And actually, I mean, I've had some of my best conversations at GDC out of interactions like that. So I highly recommend turning your human skills on and humaning for a little bit. because
Human
it's
functions.
really easy to get stuck in the trap of GDC, which is, oh, look at all these people, they brought games, I'm gonna go and just play games the whole time. Like, you definitely want to go and play people's games and talk to them about them.
Specifically
But
because
don't-
Sekiro is also coming out the same day as GDC on Friday. Just want to drop that in there. Keep going.
Oh, is it? That's
It is.
bad planning.
It might be great planning. Maybe they have a talk.
It's still bad planning.
Anyway, I'm sorry. Continue.
Yeah, well, I'm not going to be thinking about Sekiro this week. I will not even be thinking about Sekiro this week. But like, if you are playing, or if you do go and play people's games, I would greatly encourage you to play the games of the people who are there that you can talk to. I.e., don't go and just play a game at like the Nintendo booth or the Sony booth where you wait in a 20-minute line to play something that is or is not released yet.
Unless it's
And then
Lambo VR
talk
and
to
they have
someone
Pokemon
who's
Snap.
actually just there being paid to watch the show floor. That person has no insights for you in many cases, and your experience is something you can have at home. My general rule of thumb is at a conference, if you can have the experience at home, that's where you should be having it. Otherwise, go and have new experiences. That's why you're there. You're there to learn new things, have new experiences, and meet new people. So I think that that if you go in with that mentality, you'll get a lot more out of the conference. Oh, and get free swag, because why not? Why not add that as the fourth one? Because swag is good. We got some great swag over the years. Great swag, yeah. Oh, get a whole new wardrobe. T-shirts are great.
Oh yeah, dude, I'm definitely like 100% getting a GDC shirt. I try to get one every year. Except
I mean, other people give shirts away. I have all kinds of shirts from
you.
GDC.
Okay, Andrew, I need you as my merch hookup for sure.
What was that?
Yeah, you gotta. I'm telling you, dude, you gotta get this waypoint map up. Like.
Oh, okay, yeah.
1000%.
You need me to build those wagons for you a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bilbo Swaggins. So I guess we'll end the podcast on that. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for listening to the podcast. I know we have hope you guys are enjoying the Minecraft in the background that's been happening. And sure, I know you haven't noticed, but we've actually been communicating in the in-game chat, like with Minecraft details. So that we don't...
Yeah, I was hoping that that's what you were doing. I was.
Yeah, because we
It's really hard to podcast when there's just Minecraft chat happening the whole time.
Oh yeah, no problem.
Yeah.
But thank you for listening. We'll see you all next week for the post GDC talk, which we will we will be doing that on the train again because that was fun last time. So why not? Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.